Hi V, hi everyone else. Welcome to Gaping Chasm. First of all, if I look really hot, it's because it is like sweltering in here, and I also have like a light beaming right on me. And I can't turn my fan on or it'll ruin the audio. So we're gonna make this as quick as possible. Basically what this video is it is a May reading vlog, which is kind of a misnomer because I didn't end up doing that much in the way of reading this month. You'll see. This video is also kind of just like slapped together. Well, that makes it sound like crappy, but that's not what I mean. It's just kind of hodgepodge. It's very casual. I probably repeat myself a bunch. It's shaky camera work. Like, I don't know, but it was fun. It was fun to do, and it was kind of fun to just experiment with reading vlogging. A couple months ago, I did a reading vlog for Crescent City, and this is similar to that. You don't watch me read for as much of the video. Like I said, this video is really rambly and not scripted and casual. I think it's nice to do casual videos every once in a while, and I would like to do a monthly reading vlog every month. I think it would be kind of a nice way to like keep up on it. I'm gonna experiment with how I do it. Obviously we're in quarantine right now, so it's not like I'm doing other things, but maybe if I do something exciting, I'll just include it in the reading vlog as well. I don't know. I don't know. Going to be a series of videos that you can expect, but that are probably going to vary greatly from video to video. Besides just being a reading vlog, I kind of wanted this to sort of also be a time and a place where I could do like channel updates and thoughts if I wanted to. Yeah, that kind of stuff will be towards the end with the outro. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Hope that you excuse any messiness that it might have, because it's definitely not the most clean cut or organized thing, but it was fun. It's been fun. Welcome to my March reading vlog. I thought I would do this month and just try to vlog about everything I do that's reading and bookish related, because I do a lot of it. I don't want this video to be like extensively long, so it's not gonna be a vlog in the same way that the Crescent City read through was a vlog. Like, it's not gonna be a lot of footage of me reading. It's gonna be more me talking about what's happening in books. So heads up, there probably will be spoilers further into the video, but I'll make sure to alert when those spoilers are going to happen. So the first book I'm gonna read this month is Stormfront by Jim Butcher. This is actually a reread for me. I was reading the Dresden Files series back in, I want to say, late high school. I got through, oh man, and this is part of the reason I'm rereading them. I don't remember if it was Proven Guilty or White Knight that I got through, and I remember so few details that it's kind of a problem. But I do remember loving this series, and I know I love this series, but I was just kind of killing time on my phone, and I found out that we're getting 2 new Dresden Files books this year, and that kind of shocked me into being like, okay Sam, time to go back and actually try to catch up on the series that you really enjoy. So that's what I'm doing. Originally I was gonna read Skyward at the beginning of this month. I did just finish my Throne of Glass series reread, which was intense and amazing, but I was going to jump into Skyward. But yeah, I decided no, we're gonna go with Stormfront, and basically every other book I read this month is gonna be a Dresden Files book. I do own the complete series except for the 2 like compilations of short story collections. So yeah, I don't intend or really think it's possible for me to catch up on the series before the new books come out, but I do think it's quite possible and very likely that I will be completely caught up with the series by the end of the year. So the plan at the moment is, yes, to read a Dresden Files book between every other book I read, and to get through the whole series, I'm assuming the next books will at least the immediately next book, Peace Talks, will be out by the time that I finish, what is it, Skin Game? Skin Game. By the time I finish Skin Game. And then once I've caught up to whatever the publication is at that point, that's when I'll pick up the short story collections. Stormfront in particular, obviously, is the first book in the series, sets the tone. I personally really dislike books 1 and 2 in this series. Book 1 is okay, book 2 is horrible in my opinion. Maybe on the reread I'll change my mind. But when I was reading these for the first time, I was like, okay, book 1 is good enough. Maybe I'm just not like getting it the way I should be to enjoy it. And I think it was mostly that the mystery was just very lackluster. It was just kind of boring, actually. Not that yeah, it was just kind of a boring book. But then I picked up book 2 and I hated it. It was such a drag to get through. I just had an incredibly hard time reading and enjoying that book. I would have given up the series then and there if I hadn't liked the concept a lot and if I hadn't actually enjoyed book 1. So then I picked up book 3, Grave Peril, and within like pages I was in love with the book, and from there it's just kind of been in love with the series the entire time. It's absolutely amazing. I love that it takes place in Chicago. I love the concept. I love the characters. I think so a lot of the characters besides Harry that are introduced in book 1 are kind of boring. They're just very like not one-dimensional exactly, but everything that makes them two-dimensional, there's no like shiny exciting piece to them. So that was an issue for me. Later in the series, I will say Jim Butcher is one of the few authors that has successfully gone back and managed to retool a character and make them exciting to me as a reader. The character in particular is Karen Murphy, and in the first couple books I find her incredibly just dry, but at some point in the series she's introduced, or she's in the series quite often, and at some point she comes back, and I don't want to like spoil what it is that made her interesting to me again, but I was like, huh, okay, this is great, because it doesn't break anything that we knew about the character and doesn't even really change the character in any permanent way so much as just shift our perspective of the character a little bit, and like just a tiny bit. And I was like, had this been present in book 1, I would have loved her so much more, but we don't have that. So this book, I'm hoping to finish it in 3 days. It's not a thick book. It's got pretty big writing. Like, it's not dense. And these books don't tend to be that dense in general. They tend to be pretty quick reads. So yeah, we're gonna see. My goal, like I said, is to finish the series by the end of the year and to finish it, maybe caught up completely. So that's 20 books. I'm sorry, that's 19 books if we count the 2 short story collections and the 2 new novels coming out. So we'll say about 20. It's May. We have 8 months left in the year. So I had to ask Siri, but basically if I read 2 to 3 books every month, I'll definitely be caught up. So I'm not worried at all at being able to do that. I think I'll probably finish the series and catch up right around the time the second book comes out this year. And I keep saying it's the second book. I can't remember what that one is called. I know Peace Talks is the first one coming out. And then book 17 is book 2. Both of them have covers. Both of them have descriptions. Like, I'm very excited. It's been a long time since a new Dresden Files book has come out. Skin Game came out, I want to say 5 years ago, if not more. It might have been like 2014. I could be totally wrong. I know there was a short story collection, the second one that came out last year, I think, or 2 years ago. So yeah, but this is the probably biggest, most in-depth urban fantasy series I read. But when I catch up, maybe I'll want to pick up a new urban fantasy series. If I do, it'll probably be Shannon McGuire's October Day books, because I've wanted to read those for a while anyways, and I love Shannon McGuire. Let me double check when the last Dresden Files book came out. I was right, Skin Game was 2014, so it's been a while. And Stormfront is actually celebrating its 20-year anniversary, like, I think it was last month on April 1st, so that's really exciting. The publication history of the series is bizarre. Oh, Briefcases came out in 2018, so that was 2 years ago now. That was the second collection of short stories. Okay, my fan is on, so I hope that the audio isn't screwy. But I'm not gonna get up to turn it off, sorry. I am still reading. I'm still reading Stormfront. I'm nearly done. It is Tuesday the 5th, and it's kind of crazy that I haven't finished this book yet. I remembered when I read it the first time that I didn't like this one very, like, it was okay, but I remembered not liking it very much, and I also remembered really disliking book 2. So I think that's kind of made me hesitant about reading this book now. But yesterday when I was reading it, I got super invested in it, super into it, and I, like, reminder as to why I like this series. The writing is really good, really addictive, and the mystery in this one is actually pretty good as well. I don't, even though I've read it before, I don't remember any of the details. yeah, so I'm enjoying the story that it's taking me on. It's still not like wowing me, because I know the later books in the series really do wow me, but yeah, it's fun. I'm hoping, because I'm so close. I'm so close. I want to finish. I'll probably finish tomorrow, if I'm being honest. One of the things that's actually kept me from reading more has been video games. Animal Crossing, of course, but I also started playing Detroit Become Human, which is a game I wanted to play for a while and have had since Christmas, and decided 2 nights ago, I was like, I'm just gonna pop it in and play for an hour, because I just can't focus on anything right now, and I regret nothing. It is such a good game. I love Connor so much. So now it's kind of become a little ritual for me to play from about 9 o'clock until I decide I'm too sleepy and want to go to bed, which tonight I have a feeling won't be very long. I'm exhausted right now. I've been exhausted since I woke up. It's been a really emotionally draining day, even though nothing has really happened. Other bookish stuff, I really want to buy a book. Oh man, just the desire to buy a book is so strong, but I can't. I have to stay strong. I have to try not to be like spending money. I have allotted myself the chance to buy a book next week, I think. So we'll see how I'm feeling. I may splurge and buy 2 books, but I'm gonna try to convince myself just to buy 1. We'll see. Other bookish things. Oh, I did take some bookish photography today, finally, of my Illumicrate Chain of Gold box stuff. It took me forever to get around to it, but I did it, and I really like how a lot of them turned out. I tried a couple different things with these photos, so I hope it pays off. I think I found that I spent like half an hour taking about 68 photos, and then it took me about an hour to edit all those, so that was interesting. I was like not actively paying attention, but I like noticed that's about how long it took. Also, speaking of Illumicrate, I got their the April box. I was gonna film an unboxing for it, but decided against it just because I was tired, and I feel like all I've done lately is film unboxings, and the regular monthly is not as exciting as like the collector's editions. And I'm kind of really glad I didn't record the unboxing, because I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of disappointing. I really liked what came in it. A tote bag came in it. The book actually looks really good. I can't think of the title now, but the book does look really good. Oh, and Witchland's bookmarks came in it, and those are gorgeous. So I didn't like hate the box, but it just, a lot of the stuff was underwhelming. Like there's a pen, but the pen doesn't write really well, which could just, I mean, it happens. I'm really snobby about pens also, so that could very well be all the issue is. And then like a little dry erase board, but I don't know. Oh, there was also a battery pack in there, like a portable charger. So that was actually pretty cool. It doesn't appeal to me a lot. It was from the Roar Rising series, which I haven't read yet. So, I mean, not a bad box. I'm sure a lot of people are probably happy with it. But for me, it was a little disappointing. So, yeah. Fairy Loot's box should arrive on Friday. I might film a miniature unboxing or something just for the vlog. There's not going to be a full unboxing, but I am really excited for that. I haven't had a regular Fairy Loot since the February one. So I hope it's good. I'm excited for the book. Honestly, that's something that I'm more excited for the book than the items, just in general, because I miss buying books so much. My wallet is thanking me, but my heart is like screaming out. I miss buying books so much, and I miss working at a bookstore. And working in general, but like being around books. Oh man. Quarantine's rough. Okay. I'm gonna, read for like 20 more minutes, see how far I can get. I can actually get pretty far in this book in 20 minutes. It's not big writing at all. I have like 10 chapters left. Not even. I have like 7 chapters left. Maybe I will finish it tonight. I'm gonna make it a goal. I do still want to play Detroit Become Human, and I like starting every night at 9 because then I just kind of naturally limit myself. Maybe I can have my cake and eat it too. So let's see. I finished it. Yay! It is March 6th. So it took me 6 days to finish like a not even 400-page book. So I definitely feel great about that. I forgot how much I actually enjoyed these books. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely not the best Dresden File, but so much better than I remembered. I hope Full Moon also ends up being that way because, as I remember it, Full Moon is just garbage. One of the worst. Not just the worst Dresden Files, but one of the worst books. But yeah, really good. I forgot how much I enjoyed it. There's not much to say except because like I'm not gonna review it. I've read it before. I'm glad it was rereadable. I guess that's always a test for me with books. I would have been very disappointed if it was not. If a book's not rereadable, like if I try to reread a book and it's just not working, for the most part, that means I tend to get rid of it. So sometimes I don't reread certain books because I'm like, I loved it too much. I don't want to do it again. But I'm glad this was not one of those series, or at least this book was not. Yeah, not much else to say. My next book, though, let's say it's gonna be Skyward. My next book is Skyward. This is the first in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. I'm a big Sanderson fan, so I'm excited to read this. Also, I love the cover. It's a Charlie Bowater cover. All I know about this book is that it was being tipped as How to Train Your Dragon in Space. So, what's it look like naked? This is naked it. Got a little, it says DDF. Defiant. Like I said, I like Sanderson a lot. This is also longer than I thought it was. 510 pages. Okay. Smells good. Okay. I haven't, well, I guess last year I think I only read one Sanderson, which was the first Wax and Wane book. And I haven't read his YA in a long time. So yes, I am. I'm thoroughly excited to be getting to this one. What? Let's read the flappy. Spence's world has been under attack for decades. Now pilots are the heroes of what's left of the human race, and becoming one has always been Spence's dream. Since she was a little girl, she had imagined soaring skyward and proving her bravery, but her fate is intertwined with her father's, a pilot himself who was killed years ago when he abruptly deserted his team, leaving Spensa the daughter of a coward. Her chances of attending flight school slim to none. No one will let Spensa forget what her father did, yet fate works in mysterious ways. Flight school may be a long shot, but she's determined to fly, and an accidental discovery in a long-forgotten cavern might just provide her a way to claim the stars. So yes, I'm excited. I feel like it's been a long time since I read any sci-fi. I'm trying to think the last one I read. Doesn't matter. I do have the sequel, Starsight. I have Starsight as well, so I plan on reading that not long after this. I guess I have like high hopes-ish. I've not really ever been let down by a Sanderson, so you know what, I'm looking at the back cover. I kind of hate the back cover. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? The cover for the Fifth Wave, and I hated the cover for the Fifth Wave, and I hated the Fifth Wave. Does she have her eyes change color in the light? That's really cool. I do love the spines of these books. Okay. Alright. Yes. Hopefully I finish by the end of the week. Okay, before I get too far into the picture taking process, I just wanted to show what it kind of looks like when I'm getting ready to take photos for my Instagram, because I do bookish photography on there, which you should totally follow me. But I do tend to put my hair back just because I used the strap on the camera so that it does not fall on top of the books. So here we've got the start of, or actually this is pretty much what it's going to look like. And then we've got, I kind of organized it by stacks. I'm trying to do 9 photos today, so This is a showcase of like that book in particular because it's a special edition. And I was going to do all the UK paperbacks, the Throne of Glass special edition. I don't think it's like an anniversary edition if I remember correctly. My original cover, and I think I'm going to do 2 showcasing that because it is actually signed and personalized. Then obviously the hardcovers, and then the Juniper Books hardcovers, the game, and then the coloring book. Okay, it is the 13th. I've done like no reading. I think I hit 100 pages in Skyward. I don't even know if you can't even see the bookmark, but I'm enjoying it, but I was busy playing video games. Haven't had time for much else. I did get the March Fairy Loot finally arrived, and you can't really see me. Hold on. The March Fairy Loot did arrive, and I'm quite pleased with everything in the box, but I wanted to show off the book. And I'm really excited about the book because I was going to buy it myself and didn't because there were like mixed reviews online, and I was like, okay, I'll wait to get it. I don't need it right away. But it arrived in the Fairy Loot, and I'm very excited because now I can read it, and it's like this gorgeous edition. So if I don't like it, I'll still have a really pretty edition. But that is Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy, and just I hope it comes across, but just like they're like shimmery edges. They're stunning. I'm very happy with this. I'm sorry about that. But yes, really excited about Bonecryer's Moon. I feel like, yeah, okay. But then I also ended up just kind of treating myself because I haven't been really purchasing anything at all lately. I treated myself to finally get the, again, you can't see. Here we go. The collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Basically, it's just a pretty book. There is a concern that it might be going out of print now that they're readjusting the books to be sold in the adult section of the bookstore, which is one of the reasons that I really wanted to get this. And now, but yeah, that's really it for books right now. This is not much of a reading vlog this month, so I'm sorry about that. But Detroit Become Human has taken over my life, and I've been reading a lot of fan fiction. Because I just need to like continue in that world a lot more. So yes. Hopefully I will finish Skyward before the month is over and also get around to Full Moon. It's like a minimum of 3 books, but that would be great to just even finish 3. Not gonna lie. So yeah. Okay, I gotta clear the memory card because I just took a bunch of photos. As you could probably see, I have a bit of a mess going on. I was taking my books around. But I just wanted to say I'm at almost page 200 on Skyward. And I love the ship. M-Bot, is that his name? And the reason I love the ship is because he reminds me of Connor a little bit. So that might be the motivation I need to get deep into this book and just like get into reading again. Is that it just reminds me of Detroit Become Human just a teeniest bit. Just the teeniest bit. But yes, okay. Wanted to just say that. Okay. So I hit the halfway point on Skyward and I'm really digging this book. It's really good. I mean, I've never, oh, let me turn the fan off. I've never been disappointed by a Sanderson book before, so like I don't know why I'm so surprised that I'm enjoying it so much. First of all, M-Bot, I love him. He is precious. He's got such a great like voice of a character there. Oh my god, I love him. I also really like Spensa. I think she's great. I think she's like very different from a lot of characters in like a, I don't know how to like sorry, I'm getting messages. She's different from a lot of characters in I don't know how to explain it. I do plan on like doing a sort of mini review before the end of this vlog when I finish the book, but yeah, she's very different from a lot of narrators that I've read. It reminds me a lot of the Hunger Games, because I think there's this sort of weight, or like you get to know like all these characters, and you're told from the beginning that like in test school a lot of the cadets end up dying or dropping out, and you're told this and you're reinforced this, but all of the characters, none of them feel like ones that you'd be like, oh well, so and so is probably gonna die, so that like when they die, like you're shocked but you're not shocked, and it's also fast, and it's like war, and I don't know, the way that like character death is handled just reminds me a lot of the Hunger Games in good ways, in totally good ways. And I mean the first one, I think the later Hunger Games handles death differently. But yes, it's really good. It's a really good book. There's so many questions I have. I just can't wait. So yes, I hope to finish it probably this weekend, would be my guess. Probably because I am really digging it. So I don't see why I wouldn't finish it this weekend. Another bookish thing, I guess, that just relates to me, I almost have 400 followers on Instagram, so that's very cool. And if you follow, thank you, because it means a lot. I put a lot of effort into curating my feed and taking pictures and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but it is also a lot of work, so I'm really happy that it pays off and that people are, you know, seeing what I'm putting out. Yeah. I think that's really it for bookish stuff. I'm sorry I haven't read more this month. I really wanted it to be like a really interesting reading vlog, but I just haven't spent a lot of time reading. I spent a lot of time playing video games, or reading fan fiction. So maybe I'll go over the fan fictions I adored this month. That would be interesting, I think. We'll see. Okay. It is the 19th, and I finished Skyward yesterday. I put a review up in my stories, and I'm gonna record a review for like a wrap up at the end of this vlog, so I'll put a timestamp somewhere so you can just like jump to that if you're curious. But I am starting Full Moon by Jim Butcher now, and I really hope you can hear me over my fan, because it is really hot in here and I don't want to turn it off even for this little recording. So this is the second book in the Dresden Files series, part of my reread. It continues. This is only the third book I've gotten to this month. It's been a really slow reading month. I was obsessed with Detroit Become Human, and I am still obsessed with that, and I plan on actually replaying it just soon. Probably starting tomorrow. I'm busy tonight, otherwise it would be tonight. But I also started watching How to Get Away with Murder, and I'm obsessed with the show right now, so that is also taking a lot of time away from reading. But Skyward was really good. I would recommend it strongly. I've never been disappointed by a Brandon Sanderson book, so I don't know why I worried I might be with that one. Yeah, Full Moon book 2 in the Dresden Files. I remember hating this book. This book almost turned me off of the series. I have read the first chapter again, and I remember none of it except, like, I remember one thing about one of the characters that's, like, revealed later in the book, but I figured it out, like, immediately when they were introduced, so it wasn't a big deal. But I'll read you just the synopsis real quick. Business has been slow. Okay, business has been dead, and not even of the undead variety. You'd think Chicago would have a little more action for the only professional wizard in the phone book, but lately Harry Dresden hasn't been able to dredge up any kind of work, magical or mundane. But just when it looks like he can't afford his next meal, a murder comes along that requires his particular brand of supernatural expertise. A brutally mutilated corpse, strange-looking paw prints, a full moon. Take 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. So, yeah, this is, I remember just, like, hating this book, and I don't even remember why, because I can remember, like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember, like, one specific image that's, like, imprinted in my brain, and I think it's in this book, and it's, like, Johnny Marcone hanging from something and having to, like, swing himself onto, like, solid ground. I could be totally off. Maybe I'm making that up completely. But that's what I remember. I hope to finish this book before the month ends, and that's just like my goals for the month. If I finish it and get further than this book, that would be great, but I don't know. At the rate I'm going, it seems unlikely. So I'm not gonna push my luck. Yeah, I think that's it for like reading and book stuff right now. Yeah, I'll timestamp to Skyward review. Okay, like 2 quick things. I know my fan is on again, so it's probably ruining audio, but it's so hot in here. So I did hit the halfway point of full moon, and I've said multiple times that I remember just hating this book, but I don't, like, I'm reading it now and I'm really enjoying it on this read through. So I don't know. I even gasped a little at a point. I was like, just, this doesn't happen on a lot of rereads. Also, the Illumicrate May came, and this is a winner. Last month felt a little weaker, but this one's a winner. I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of everything that came in it, and the book was very unexpected and just gorgeous. So I'm just gonna show you what it all is. So the theme was monstrous, which already is a theme that I'm super into. But we have this is a hot cocoa, and it smells divine. I will be making some. And we have a post-it with Geralt and Jaskier on it. I'll take glamour shots of all this as well. But it's so cute. And we have these stickers, which they're so shiny, but they're gorgeous. I don't know what I'm gonna put them on, but I'm living for them. And this might be my most exciting thing, and it is Howl's Moving Castle themed, which is very cool, but it's also like a phone stand is what it is. I've needed a phone stand in my life forever. I borrow my mom's all the time, so cannot express how excited this makes me. Although I was spoiled for this being in the box because someone on Instagram posted that they were selling it, and I was like, oh, I know there's a Howl's Moving Castle item in this box, but so excited for it. And then a book sleeve. This is Chamber of Secrets themed, and it doesn't have a zipper at the top, but I actually kind of prefer it. And now I have literally only, at the beginning of this year, I was like, wow, I have no book sleeves. I have 3 already, so I'm super living for it, and it's super sturdy. And actually, the book itself came in the book sleeve, which I thought was really nifty. Alright, and the book itself is The Girl and the Stars by Mark Lawrence. I have the first book in the Broken Empire series by Mark Lawrence. It's somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I've never read it, but I'm so excited about this one. It's so pretty. It's got black stained edges, so you know it's a winner. It's signed. It's got these gorgeous end papers. It's about this. I don't know if that's appearing well. I'll just read it. It says, an epic new series from the best-selling author of Prince of Thorns and Red Sister, book 1 of Book of the Ice. And I don't know, I wonder if this is part of his giant world he writes in or not. I'll have to look into it. But it says, east of the Black Rock, out on the ice, lies a hole broken children are thrown down. On the vastness of the ice, there is no room for individuals. No one survives alone. To endure months of night when even the air begins to freeze requires a special breed. Variation is dangerous, difference is fatal, and Yaz is different. Torn from her family, from the boy she thought she would spend her life with, Yaz must carve a new path for herself in a world whose existence she never suspected. A world full of danger. For beneath the ice, Yaz will learn that Abeth is older and stranger than she had ever imagined. When she begins to challenge the cruel arithmetic of survival that has always governed her people, she'll learn that her weaknesses are another kind of strength. And it's just, yes, like, look at this stunning, sadly no map, but no book's perfect. But yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know when I'm gonna get to Girl and the Stars. I'm probably gonna actually add it high to my list because it sounds really good, and I have wanted to read a Mark Lawrence for a while. I know people really love his work. I'm not 100% sure where it's gonna go. I could put it like up there, maybe above the Tad Williams book. Oh god, it's not gonna focus. Just took a picture on accident. But maybe like up there above the Tad Williams book, or I mean, I kind of feel like it would fit nicely on the shelf with Pierce Brown and J. Kristoff and Neil Gaiman, but I don't know if there's actually any room on that shelf. So I'll have to play around with it. But yes, but Full Moon, really loving it, super getting into it. I think I actually might be able to finish it before the end of the month. Fingers crossed, because I've only finished 2 books this month, and one of them was a reread. So I would like to finish Full Moon as well. Okay. So I am still, it's not quite the end of the month. It's the 28th, but I wanted to jump on this as soon as I could, just time reasons. I am still reading Full Moon, and I'm more than halfway through with it, so I do plan on finishing it this month, which means I'll have read 3 books this month, and I'll do a little wrap up as well, probably at some point in the video. I guess I'll do it now. Which means I'll have read 3 books this month, which will be Stormfront, Full Moon, which were both rereads, as well as Skyward, which is a new read, and I loved it, and I'll have that review as part of this whole reading vlog as well. But I wanted to kind of go through the books that I wanted to read over the summer. This is a reading TBR. Kind of. I don't want to like stick to any particular order, and I'm sure there will be more books that I'll want to read, but these are the books that I really want to read over the summer and just like make sure I get through them, just for different reasons. So first off, 4 more Harry Dresden books. I am trying to reread and catch up on this series because we have 2 new books in the series coming out this year. My hope is to get through books 3 through 6 or 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 3 through 6. So that'll be Grave Peril, which is one of my favorites, so I'm really excited to return to that. Summer Night, Death Masks, which I think is the one where he rides a dinosaur, but that might be Deadbeat actually. I don't remember. I think it's one of these though, which is also just like a great moment. So yes, I am hoping to get through those for this summer. I don't think that I'll be able to catch up completely on the series by the time Peace Talks comes out, because I think Peace Talks is coming out in September. Could be totally wrong. But I am going to try to get as close as I can, just because, yeah, I do want to finally catch up on the series. I do really love this series, and I think I mentioned in a different portion that I'm just really enjoying Full Moon, and I didn't think I would because I hated it the first time, but I'm loving Full Moon. Then other series that I want to finish / catch up on this summer, I want to finally read Muse of Nightmares, which is the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, which I read in like January or February and just like fell in love with. It was one of my new favorite series or books because I haven't read the whole series yet, but it destroyed me. Oh my goodness. So I'm sure this book will similarly destroy me, and I'm really excited to read it. Even though I'm really sad to be saying goodbye to this series. There are only 2 in it, and wow, I feel like I could live in this book world for a lot longer. So, and then I also want to read Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. This is the sequel to Skyward and the second in the Skyward series. There's going to be a total of 4, but so far only the first 2 books are out. Yeah, I'm excited to get to this. I think it brings the world of Skyward into an even larger place, because at the end of Skyward, I don't want to spoil it, but at the end of Skyward, we're kind of opened up to the wider universe. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. And I loved the characters, especially Spencer and Mbot, so I'm excited to follow their adventure some more. I also want to read Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. I got this with, this is the Fairy Loot edition. I've got these gorgeous sparkly I don't know if you can see. Sparkly edges, they're just stunning. And I really wanted to read this book anyways, so yes, it says exclusive Fairyloot edition. Look at me, context clues. I wanted to read this anyways. I was excited when it came out. It sounded really interesting and really good, but then I saw some mixed reviews, so I never ended up picking it up. So I'm glad that I got into Fairyloot, especially because if I don't love it, but I still like it, I'll keep it because it's just gorgeous. You know, I won't want to get rid of it. So I am excited about Bonecryer's Moon. Also, there's a little bit of theme. Both Bonecryer's Moon and Starsight have Charlie Bowater covers, and we know how much I love her. And then the final two books that I want to get to before the end of summer are God's Grave and Nevernight. I'm sorry, God's Grave and Dark Dawn. This is the Illumicrate hardcover edition because, yes. I read Nevernight again earlier this year in like January or February and just loved it so much. So I'm so excited to finish up this series. I know that Dark Dawn is, people get really emotional over it, and they say that it broke their heart. So I guess that's exciting. I will probably do a reading vlog for this, similar to how I did Crescent City, just because it is such like a big, well-loved book, and I love to try to get my reactions to stuff on camera. But yes, that's my like summer TBR, and I know that's super like slapdash and whatnot, but I did want to just like share that. Just as part of this reading vlog, I thought it'd be interesting to throw it in there as some goals. I don't set like a monthly TBR, but I think it's really helpful to have monthly, or not monthly, but seasonal kind of goals just to keep myself in track. If quarantine keeps up, I'll probably stick pretty strongly to these picks, but if quarantine doesn't last, hopefully it'll be because we're all healthy and not because we've all given up. But if it doesn't last and I go back to work at a bookstore, I can bet you that I will be easily distracted by other shiny object books at some point. So yes. All right, this is probably going to be my last like update for the month, because I can't imagine that I'm going to finish any other books. But I did. I finished Full Moon, and it was so good. I don't even remember why I hated it so much the first time I read it, because I literally just finished it and I liked it so much. It was so good. I forgot pretty much everything that happened in it, so it was like surprising to a degree, but also it was just like really good. There's a scene at the end where Harry kind of loses control for a little bit, and I completely forgot about that scene, but it had me feeling so many emotions over the characters. So yes, I did finish it, which means I'm going to start Muse of Nightmares. So yeah, I'm really excited to start that book. Yes. All right. Okay, I want to do a little bit of a better review for Skyward than I have done. I do have like a sort of short little review on my Insta stories, on my on my stories. I have it saved though. Am I too blurry now? I hope not. So if you want to just like see my initial thoughts like right after I finished reading, definitely check out my Instagram. Definitely check it out anyways. It's Bookstagram, so it's just book photography, and I'm really proud of it. I do take a lot of care curating that feed. But Skyward, I really liked it. I had really low expectations for it, and I don't know why I had such low expectations for it. I think the concept of it wasn't a turnoff, but just didn't sound super exciting, which is strange because I've always heard the concept of it was How to Train Your Dragon except with spaceships, which sounds like it should be cool, but I don't know, it just wasn't like a shiny object idea to me. I picked this up earlier this year, so it's not like it's been sitting on my shelf for ages. And it's also like Brandon Sanderson is a proven Brandon Sanderson is a proven author for me. I've enjoyed, I think, every single book of his that I've read. Yeah, no, definitely. I've enjoyed every book of his that I've read. And while that's not like every book he's written, it's quite a few of them. So I don't know, but I just like, I went into it with just such low expectations. And maybe that's why I liked it so much. I don't think so. I think it's just genuinely a really good book. It's I don't read a lot of YA sci-fi because I find I've had just bad luck with YA sci-fi in the past, but this is like top tier. It is fantastic. It's got the sort of like shock value that Hunger Games has, in that you're not shocked because you're being told this entire time that characters can die and will die. But then when they die, you're still like shocked. Does that make sense? I guess you just don't expect them to die then and there, or so quickly or something, but it has like that aspect to it. It also just, because of that, has such a really great cast of side characters. I really loved everyone in Skyward Flight, even the ones that we didn't get to spend that much time with. I really liked the balance between the characters dying versus just dropping out. I liked that all of the members of Skyward Flight really had their own motivations and unique personalities, and that when they left or when they died, it really did feel like a tragedy and a loss. I really loved Mbot. He was 100% the VIP MVP of this book. He's one of my favorite fictional characters at this point. I mean, I'm really into AI type characters right now. I'm obsessing over Detroit Become Human. Yeah, Mbot is just like, I loved him so much. And as a writer myself, low-key want to steal aspects of his personality for some characters because he's just that good. And of course Spensa, our main character, I really liked her. She's super dramatic and kind of weird. She kind of actually comes off as like a theater kid type, but in regardless, she's very charming and really easy to get behind as a main character. Her motivations make a lot of sense. Her drives make a lot of sense. Her relationships with other characters make a lot of sense. And she's still kind of goofy and dramatic, but it doesn't make it kitschy or annoying. Also the world building. I mean, the world building and magic systems are kind of what Sanderson is known for, and this book delivers on at least the world building. There's an inkling of, I guess you'd call it a magic system, and I cannot wait to see where that goes. I think it is so interesting because it has to do with how humans are able to travel through light speed. But this book, there's a lot of world building on a very small scale. It takes place mostly on just a planet, and not even a whole planet, but mostly like one city and one military base on the planet. And within that, we get a lot of world building about this planet and how humans, you know, got there and how it works there. But then at the very end, we get this peek into just the wider universe of this universe, and I can't wait to see where he takes it, because yeah, just the small peek we've gotten has me so interested. There were because of this, there were so many good plot twists, and it's a really good book for making gray area characters. We obviously know who we're rooting for and who we're not rooting for, but at the same time we're kind of rooting for everybody. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. I think it's definitely a book that you should go into, and I mean, the description that they have on like the dust jacket, like, I guess it makes sense, but it's a hard book to describe succinctly. It's also, the book has these lovely, like, if you can see it, not sketches, but like diagrams of how the ships work and kind of how they look, and they're not like super in-depth, but they weren't even, okay, let's be real, they weren't even that helpful for me as a reader, but they were a nice touch. It felt like it was building up the world, and I do love when books have stuff like that. I think it's just really neat. It also has a map, and again, the map, just like, it's there. I didn't look at it like at all. I didn't feel like I needed to though, so that's probably a good thing. I didn't give this book 5 stars, and I think the reason for that is just, there were parts of it that were not boring, but not exciting. They weren't super gripping. There's a lot of learning and class type scenes, and while I do really enjoy that, it wasn't something that I was like dying to get back to every time. There were scenes where I was like, no, I want to see more of these, like Mbot scenes or flying scenes, but just like the classroom scenes, they're really interesting, but I just didn't feel motivated to keep coming back to them. And I think in general, this book, as much as I was enjoying it, I wasn't actively being motivated to return to it. I was feeling really excited and loving it while I was reading it, but returning to it was just difficult for some reason. It could be me just being in a book slump, but I gotta report on how it feels. And because I realized I didn't really describe what Skyward is about, I'll do that now. So Skyward is about Spensa. She lives on a planet with like the rest of humanity. There is not a large portion of humanity, and they're constantly being attacked by this alien group called the Krell. Krell? Yeah, the Krell, because the Kroll are from Marvel. So the Krell, they're constantly being attacked by the Krell. And the only way to really fight the Krell is with fighter pilots. Spensa really wants to be a pilot. However, her father, who was one of the first pilots, ended up becoming a traitor and turning on his own team. So she's kind of been blacklisted. She is given the opportunity to go to school for pilots, though, in sort of this twist of fate. And while there, she starts to uncover, you know, like, what's the truth behind what happened to her father, because she doesn't believe that he's a traitor. She doesn't believe that they did this, and she wants to figure out what he actually did. She also discovers a ruin of a more advanced ship than the ones that they actually use on her planet, and she starts repairing it, and that ship is M-Bot, and she sort of forms a relationship with him because he's artificial intelligence. And by relationship, I don't mean romantic, I mean like partners. And yeah, I think that's as good a description as I can get. Again, a hard book to explain succinctly, and like M-Bot isn't introduced until like not much later, but later in the plot compared to like the fighting stuff. So it's not a spoiler because like I feel like I said, this book was really sold as being How to Train Your Dragon in space. Yeah, that's really all I have to say for Skyward. I am looking forward to Starsight. I'm sad I didn't read more original books this month, but it is what it is. Quarantine has taken its toll on all of us in slightly different ways. Oh, wait though. I think I mentioned that I was at one point reading a lot of fan fiction. So I wanted to see if I could look at the ones that I like actually ended up bookmarking this month. Does it tell you when you bookmarked it? Yes, it does. Oh my god, only one. Well, then this will be easy. No. Oh, no, okay. It's like, what? It's more than one. Wow, I saved a lot more than I thought, actually. Okay. Alright, so this month, I think I've mentioned several times by now, I spent a lot of time playing Detroit Become Human. I am actually currently in my second playthrough, and I'm working really hard to get the pacifist ending because the first playthrough I did not. I did so bad and ended up just like by the end self-sabotaging. I was so upset. But I just love the world in DBH, and I really love all the questions that like the pacifist ending opens up about what peace between androids and humans will look like and stuff. And I also just adore the character of Connor. He's one of my favorite like fictional characters just of all time at this point. I just want what's best for him. So I did start reading fan fiction because I really wanted further happy ending stuff. So I think all of the fan fictions that I've saved this month and bookmarked are all Detroit Become Human fanfics, and they fall into like two categories. There's two core relationships that I really enjoy. One of them is like canon and one of them is 100% fanon, so you know, be prepared. But I love Connor and Hank's like father-son type relationship. I don't want to spoil anything for the game, and I do know that people ship them, and I have nothing against that ship, but I personally see them as being like very familial, and Hank kind of adopting Connor and just like taking him in if they get the pacifist ending. Obviously we don't. There are some nasty outcomes for that relationship. So a lot of them are focused on that. All of these are kind of focused on Connor. You're gonna notice, like I said, one of my favorite characters. I also really like how fanon has just taken Gavin Reed's character and just like changed him so he's like pretty much a decent guy, or like not as bad as the game actually makes him out to be, because he's kind of a horrible person, super racist, or as I saw this term in a fic and I kind of love it, kind of hate it, but robophobic. I hate it so much, but I love it. And I actually do really like the ship of Gavin and Connor. It's not like my top tier ship at all, but it's been just kind of a nice little like how do I explain it, like a detour. I just needed something new and distracting, and now I'm kind of over it, but not DBH, just the Gavin Connor ship. Also, you're gonna notice most of these are angsty because I live for angst. My favorite, 100% favorite genre. fan fiction. Oh, I also like the ship of RK900 and Gavin, which is an interesting ship. I'm just gonna refer to RK900 as nines. The first one that I saved is Heliotrope by Kato Universe. This was a like angsty, not super angsty, but somewhat angsty soulmate story where like, or actually it wasn't soulmates. It was a really cute concept about how when you form an attachment or relationship of any sort with someone, you get a flower on your skin that represents like that relationship. It was a really cute concept. And in this fic, Gavin could not form any flowers, and then he meets Nines, who, being an android, can, you know, change his skin or whatever, and he changes it to have enough flowers for both of them. It was just really cute, really short little thing. Love the concept. Next we have Fragile Machine by Captain Kieran. But this was just an angsty Hank and Connor thing, where I think Connor gets shot and Hank just like is sad, but Connor's okay. I hate the stories where a character dies. Then we have Lifetime and Repeat by Defective Deviant. Oh, this one was really angsty and emotional, and actually like some of these I will say, like, trigger warning, they can get really like dark. I have to be careful myself when reading them, but this one was just Connor dealing with like depression because of everything, especially the emotional manipulation from Amanda and stuff. We have Blue Screen by Gilligan Goodfellow, which is a fantastic name. I'm just gonna be real. Oh, this one was really good, actually. I adored this one. Basically, it's the concept that Connor was not designed to last more than like so many months, and he is past that point, so he's just like dealing with like bugs in his system with the help of Hank and Marcus. And we have Clap If You've Got a Ticket to the End of the World by A Hyperactive Hero. And another Hank Connor angsty one. This one was really sweet. It obviously post-pacifist ending, and Connor goes to a android march for peace, and there ends up being like a bombing, and he gets like caught up in it. It's kind of angsty, like he's fine, right? But what's really great about this one is just his interactions with one of the criminals. I don't want to say much more. It's pretty solid. And we have The Most Human Color by Like to Laugh. And oh, this was him dealing with feeling bad about being the deviant hunter and not wanting to get parts repaired. Also really good. I've Got a Lot to Learn. I've Got a Lot to Learn, You've Got a Lot to Give by Red Riding Hood. Also a great name. Oh man, this one was a lot. This was also one with dealing with Connor having like depression and suicidal tendencies. It's a reimagining of a scene in the game where Hank asks Connor about like android afterlife. It's a reimagining of that scene with like a more deviant Connor. I think he goes deviant early in this little ficlet. Then we have A Game Made for Two by Anonymous. This is another suicidal Connor one. You could see there was like slight theme in just what I was reading. Sometimes angst like that is just like really, I don't know how to describe it, but you know how sometimes like pimple videos are really like relaxing? Angsty fics like this are also relaxing in that way. Cathartic. Cathartic is the word I was looking for. It's very cathartic to read these sometimes. I think that's why I like angst. Let's see. Cynics Come Undone by Cosmo Corpse. Or Cosmo's Corpse, I guess. I am surprised I bookmarked this one. But basically Hank and Connor are in a car accident, and Hank just doesn't really reach out to Connor about how badly Connor was damaged, and angst. Tactile Sensitivity. This is a Connor and Nines fic. It was good. You can look it up if you're curious. Then we have March of Progress by Calamitatum. Oh, this one was really good. So this is Connor really trying to just like navigate what it's like to be deviant and have like emotions and desires and stuff, and it's really moving. There's a lot of like really beautiful scenes. This one also has a lot of North in there, and just it makes like this great relationship between North and Connor, and I really love the characterization of North. She's one of my favorite side characters in the game, so I was happy to see her just represented this way, and represented so well. She's definitely a character with a lot of trauma, and this doesn't shy away from it. It's really, 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 really great fic. Then I bookmarked this just so I could go back to it, not because I necessarily loved it or read it all, because it's 139 chapters, but Make Me Smile by Tongue Glow. It's just Nines and Gavin Reed ficlets compiled together. Then we have our last one, which is Golden by Jarpad, and this is a Connor Gavin fic, and it's actually ongoing still. And this one easily became one of my favorites that I've read just ever, just like favorite fics, favorite stories. It's really, really beautiful. It's about Connor gets basically hurt and he goes mute. It's partly his choice, partly not his choice. And yeah, Gavin is there as just like support, but I'm not doing it justice. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful story. And I'm gonna link all those down below, so check them out if you want. Yeah, I read a lot of fan fiction this month, and I can already kind of tell that I'm getting tired of fan fiction a little bit, and I'm starting to find like more energy to read like novels again. So I am glad about that, because as much as I love fan fiction, sometimes it's really frustrating to actually find like the thing you want to read that's like long enough and hits all the spots, whereas novels, I have an easier time finding that kind of stuff. So yeah, this was also the first time I really like branched out in any large way from like Glance and Voltron fanfiction, so this was kind of a fun experiment. Detroit Become Human has taken over my life, just like completely. Alright, thank you for watching. Yeah, this, like I said, has been a sort of hodgepodge video. Definitely want to get it a little more streamlined next month and then the month after that and everything. Also hoping to read a lot more in the coming months. I think that it's been a combination of just quarantine ennui and other things being more interesting in the moment. Like I've been watching How to Get Away with Murder and loving it. I have been playing Detroit Become Human. I'm on my second playthrough. Like, there's just been other things to keep my attention, and books haven't necessarily been answering that. But good news, Illinois is going into stage 3, phase 3. We actually met all of the qualifications set out by the White House, which I know are not like the strictest or most accurate qualifications, but it's something. So we are moving forward, so maybe I'll have my job back soon, and that would be really exciting. And yeah, hopefully I'll be reading a lot more. If you've read any of the books I talked about, whether it's books that I'm planning to read this summer or a book that I actually picked up, let me know. I'd love to talk about it in the comments or on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I'll have all that linked around, not around the video because I don't know how to do that, but down in the Dropbox and whatnot. But like I said in the intro, I really wanted to do a slight channel update, at least from my end. You probably noticed that I went almost a month, if not a whole month, without updating or posting anything. That's in large part because the video that I was spending the majority of my energy on was the Koleoko video, which if you haven't watched it, I will link that here, and you should definitely go watch it because I worked hard and I love how it turned out, and I learned a lot about editing while doing that video. But that video took me a long time, not just to watch the episodes, but to actually film it. I just kept hitting a wall while filming and felt like really creatively blocked. And then similarly to editing, I recently got like back into the groove of it, and I'm really enjoying making videos again. But yeah, there was just a point where it was so difficult to just have any energy to make anything creative, whether it was a video or writing or just take pictures for Instagram. So that's one of the major reasons I just didn't upload anything over the past month. I have tons of ideas for videos, and I would like to start doing weekly uploads again. We're gonna see if that's feasible. I'm planning to make several more Koleoko videos. I don't think they're going to be as long, but they will probably still take longer than a regular video, so maybe it'll be more like every other week updates. I also am really hoping to either get my job back or get a different job because I really want to be working again. And if that happens, that will also cut down on time to like work on videos and post. So goal is every week, but more likely I think you'll see every other week uploads. And I am going to try to stick to uploading on Fridays because yeah, Fridays at like 11 a.m. Central Standard Time is when I've been uploading. So yeah, you can probably expect it to be similar. Other channel news, I guess, I'm working on, like I said, another Koleoko video. I have a video idea about a song that I really like but that the world kind of hates. I think it'll be interesting to just talk about that song. I'm not like musically inclined, but I don't know, it seems interesting. And I'm also working on another like bookish video where I want to talk about a series that I have on my shelves that I've actually finished because I'm like a serial offender in picking up a new series and then like not finishing it just because like new shiny object comes. So I kind of wanted to talk about that and do maybe little reviews on that. I've also considered doing like maybe a bookshelf tour that might be changing. I have my room kind of changed from how I did the room tour a couple months ago because I just felt like a change, and I think I have to change it again because I want to try to get an air conditioning unit in here. You may have noticed that I'm complaining about how hot it is in a lot of my videos. Maybe I cut that out in editing. I don't know, maybe I'll cut it out in this one's editing, but it just is like steaming in here. I also might start uploading gameplay. I finally got my PlayStation hooked up to the internet so I can stream to Twitch, and I have been. It's mostly just been me testing and playing around and figuring out how it works and that kind of stuff, but if you're interested, I'll have that linked down below. Right now, I'm on a second playthrough of Detroit Become Human. I'm trying really hard to get the pacifist ending. I mean, by the time this uploads, I might have finished that playthrough, and if that's the case, I'll be playing Jedi Fallen Order, which I'm not good at, but I have a lot of fun playing, so it's probably fun to watch me just kind of like shriek at the computer a little bit. And yeah, I think that's it for channel updates. Oh, the new Artemis Fowl movie is coming to Disney Plus next month, or this month, because this will be going up in June, but it's coming later in June, and I totally plan on watching and reviewing it because it's a book series that I A, really loved as a kid, and B, it's a Disney Plus original movie. If you saw my Disney Plus original movies video, which linked here if you haven't, I really want to go through and watch every single one. We also got a trailer for a different a different Disney Plus original film, the princess one. Second Born Royals, is that the one? I don't remember. I didn't watch the trailer. I was just like, hey. So thank you for watching. Goodbye V, goodbye everyone else, and do not forget to subscribe if you're interested in more reading vlogs, if you're interested in just children's cartoons, because that's sort of been my wheelhouse lately and things that I'm interested in talking about, or if you're just interested in watching me and V do whatever we want on this channel because we're having fun. Yeah, so goodbye. I'm gonna go have lunch.